Very good morning, my dear students. We people have started with components of ecosystem, right? We have already completed your biotic components, that is we have discussed producers, consumers and decomposers. In last videos we people have seen your abiotic component, right? Abiotic component हमने कुछ देखे थे. Humidity we have seen, wind, right? We have seen precipitation, okay? This, of course, temperature and light, these are the most important factor that we have already discussed about. Again in this video, we are going to discuss some other factors, some other abiotic factors, right? And that is, we are going to continue, right? So, sixth one is your water. सिक्स्थ वन क्या है बच्चों? वाटर है. सो एबायोटिक एजेंट, योर एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स, एंड दिस वी आर कंटिन्यूइंग. दिस इज योर पार्ट 2. In part 1 we people have understood your temperature, light, wind, humidity, precipitation. Now we have to continue in your notebook as a sixth point, that is water. Now we very well know that water is very much required for each and every organism to maintain its life. For normal growth and development, water चाहिए. सभी organism को water is required. Yes or no? Yes. Dear students, if I am talking about terrestrial ecosystems, right? So in terrestrial ecosystems, the requirement of water is fulfilled from soil. Yes or no? Yes. Dear students, once again, if I am talking about your terrestrial ecosystem, तो जो सारे लैंड प्लांट्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, टेरेस्ट्रियल प्लांट्स, राइट, दे फुलफिल देयर वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट फ्रॉम सॉइल. ये आपको अच्छे से पता है. यस और नो? यस. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स, वेदर प्लांट, वेदर एनिमल, exhibits different kind of adaptations depending on where they live. Whether they live in water area, whether they live in dry area, whether they live in area where the amount of water is not too high, not too less. Am I clear? So each and every organism have some kind of adaptation depending on environment they live. चलो, say for example, if we are talking about plants, देखो, if we are talking about plants who lives in dry area, so these are called as xerophytes. ये आपको अच्छे से पता है ना? ये प्लांट्स को क्या कहा जाता है? xerophytes कहा जाता है. And dear students, if I am talking about this xerophytes, the plant growing in arid, in dry environment have adaptations like they are modified, right, that increases water absorption, है ना? Modifications such as they have capacity of absorbing more water from the soil. I can say they have capacity of absorbing more water from the soil. Most important is reduction, right, of transpiration. So what is transpiration? It is loss of water in form of vapor. At the very same time, they have kind of adaptations in which they can store more water. They can store more water. Am I clear? So dear students, this I have talked about your xerophytes, right? They have modifications like increase in water absorption, reduces rate of transpiration, they can store more water. ठीक है, तो ये we have talked about plants. If I am talking about animals, then there are certain animals that lives in dry area who do not drink water at all. So for example, I am talking about kangaroo rat. Are you people getting my point? वापस से एक बार, in dry area, if I am talking about animals, so there are certain animals like kangaroo rat, right, who do not drink water. who do not drink water. तो पानी कहाँ से आएगा? They meet their requirement from food and metabolic activities. Okay, ये पानी कहाँ से ये लोग obtain करते हैं? Food and other metabolic activities. Am I clear? Say for example, metabolism of fat, which releases water, and from there it fulfills its water requirement. Am I clear? There are certain animals who have such kind of adaptations in which they passes solid feces as well as they excrete solid urine. Are you people getting my point? There are certain animals in which they are adapted, I can say, in such a way that they removes solid feces and excrete solid urine. Are you people getting my point? So this, my dear students, I have talked about your dry area. Now dear students, if I am talking about aquatic habitat, तो water is most abundant in aquatic habitat, आपको अच्छे से पता है, and the plants who lives in aquatic habitats are called as hydrophytes. ठीक है? Once again here I am writing the plants which lives in aquatic habitat or aquatic area where water is most abundant, and these are called as your hydrophytes. ठीक है? क्या कहा जाता है बच्चों इनको? These are called as your hydrophytes. Dear students, if I am talking about these hydrophytes, then they are having a specialized structure called as parenchyma, or you can say it as an air storing parenchyma. Yes or no? जो क्या store करता है? It stores air. What is the purpose for the same? To support themselves in water. To support themselves in water. Am I clear? Yes or no? Yes. So once again, plants, those who lives in aquatic habitats are called as hydrophytes. These hydrophytes having specialized tissue, I can say, which is called as your parenchyma. Parenchyma is nothing but air storing parenchyma, right? To provide buoyancy, I can say they are having this air storing structures, air bladders, I can say, which support these plants in water. Which supports this plant in water. That means this allows them to float. Am I clear? Dear students, if I am talking about plants and animals in water, then there are certain factors. So for example, clarity of water, फिर salt content कितना है वो, clarity of water, salt content, then depth. Okay, depth, and I can say water wave. These are the factors. I can say which determines flora and fauna in aquatic habitat, which determines distribution of plants and animals in aquatic habitat. Clarity, salt content, depth, and water wave. Am I clear? Now I am just saying few things. You people have to just listen. Okay, आपने ये अच्छे से पढ़ा है. चलो, if you are talking about your animals living in rivers and streams, right? Then they meet their daily food requirement from organic matter which comes from outside water. ठीक है? If we are talking about your ponds and lake, if we are talking about, then यहाँ पे producers are in most abundant. तो बच्चों, rivers, streams, pond, lake, ये fresh water है. ये कैसा water है? This is fresh water. Yes or no? So the organism who lives in fresh water have they are having problem of excess water coming in. Why? By a process of endosmosis. By a process of endosmosis. Am I clear? At the very same time, if we are talking about your ocean animal, okay, or you can say it as your in salt water. In salt water, organisms, जो organisms है, they face problem of low water. Why? Due to exosmosis, due to a process called as exosmosis. Am I clear? Okay. चलो, तो ये फ्रेश वाटर की बात करें, ये सॉल्ट वाटर की हमने बात करी. नाउ इफ यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डेप्थ, if you're talking about ocean, then beyond 200 meter, if we are talking about ocean, if you are talking about ocean, then at depth more than 200 meter there is no sunlight. So here there is no producers, only consumers are present. Who are present? Only consumers are present. Am I clear? Okay. तो ये बात करी हमने कुछ important point related to your water. Dear students, if I am talking about water wave, देखो, if I am talking about water wave, right? Then this water wave restrict, ये जो वाटर वेव है, इट रिस्ट्रिक्ट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ प्लांट एंड एनिमल इन स्ट्रीम्स एंड intertidal areas of ocean. Intertidal areas of oceans. Are you people getting my point? मैंने क्या बोला? Wave, right? This wave can also affect distribution of plants as well as animals in streams and intertidal areas. Dear students, if I am talking about organisms living in streams, organisms or plant living in streams, they must be point number one, they must be a strong swimmer. They must be strong swimmer. ओके, जो प्लांट्स होते हैं, राइट, दे मे हैव डाइसेक्टेड और रिबन लाइक लीव्स. एम आई क्लियर? ओके, दिस इज द सेकेंड पॉइंट, राइट. देन दे मस्ट हैव सम अटैचिंग ऑर्गन. द प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स हु आर लिविंग, दे मस्ट हैव सम अटैचिंग organs. Am I clear? Which attaches to substrate, right? Then fourth point, the animals are there which lives under stones, I can say, in burrows, I can say, or in cervixes. Am I clear? So these are adaptations of organisms living in streams. Similarly, if you are talking about your intertidal areas, तो यहाँ पे भी, okay, here intertidal areas if we are talking about, तो यहाँ पे भी जो plants होते हैं, I mean to say जो animals होते हैं, they must be strong swimmer. Just a minute. They must be strong swimmer. Okay. Then they must have attaching organ, I can say. Attaching organ. Am I clear? Okay. Dear students, attaching organ or attached plant, I can say. Attached plant. Say for example, I am talking about fucus or laminaria. Okay, these are the plants which are present in intertidal areas. Am I clear? यहाँ पे कैसे animals present हो सकते हैं? Burrowing animals. कैसे animals present हो सकते हैं बच्चों यहाँ पे? Burrowing animals. Say for example, I am talking about your nereis. Say for example, I am talking about your nereis. Am I clear? और यहाँ पे sessile animals like sea anemone भी present हो सकता है. So one more, क्या बोला मैंने? Sessile animal. What is this? This is your sessile animal. Okay, and say for example क्या दिया? That is your sea anemone. Am I clear? So dear students, these are something about water. The factor, it's an abiotic factor that affects distribution of plants and animals. ठीक है? I hope ये आपको अच्छे से समझ में आए. Let's discuss one more abiotic factor after your water, and that is called as your background. Okay, my dear students, if I am talking about this background, then certain animals have adaptation to have body color, pattern and their texture similar to their background. कहने का मतलब ये है, एनिमल्स के जो बॉडी कलर्स होते हैं, उनका कुछ टेक्सचर होता है, कुछ पैटर्न होती है. दिस इज सिमिलर टू द बैकग्राउंड. बैकग्राउंड इन द सेंस व्हाट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट? आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट हैबिटेट इन विच दिस ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर लिविंग. जो हैबिटेट में ये लोग रहते हैं, उस हिसाब से कुछ ऑर्गेनिजम्स ने एडेप्टेशंस करा है कि उनका कलर, टेक्सचर, पैटर्न आर सिमिलर टू दैट background. What is the reason for the same? The reason is to hide themselves. This all thing provides camouflage. Camouflage का मतलब होता है hide themselves. Okay, क्यों ये animals ये adaptation show करते हैं? Simple reason है to hide themselves from whom? From predators. From predators. Am I clear? Okay, so dear students, if I want to give some example of this animals, तो देखो, if I am talking about your elephant, okay, and if I am talking about your rhinos, these are having gray color. Dear students, if I am talking about lion and camel, these are having sand color. Okay, if I am talking about your grasshopper, your frog, I can say they are having green color. If I am talking about your chameleon, right, this chameleon is having ability to change its color. What these adaptations are meant for? Simple सी बात है, this allows them to camouflage. This allows them to camouflage. इसका मतलब this allows them to hide so that they are not visible to predators. So they are not visible to predators. Simple सी बात है, right? Then another factor that I am going to discuss over here is pH. pH in the sense, I am talking about, of course, concentration of H plus, hydrogen ion. Am I clear? Dear students, if I am talking about pH, then in ocean, the changes in pH is negligible, right? If you are talking about your terrestrial plants, right? If you are talking about your terrestrial animals, right? Again, change in pH do not affect. It doesn't matter. In case of ocean and in case of terrestrial animals, okay, I can say change in pH does not matter. However, for land plants and soil organism, right, and those who are living in soil organisms, concentration of H plus is very important. Say for example, if I want to say something about your snails and earthworms, these are soil organisms, yes or no? Snails and earthworms, they are not present in acidic pH. ये acidic pH पे नहीं होते. At the very same time, if I'm talking about freshwater organisms like Euglena and some flagellated protists, right? Then these are most abundant at acidic pH, I can say. Yes or no? One more example, if I want to plot, then the animals which are having calcareous cells are present in neutral or alkaline pH. Am I clear? So what is this I am writing? The animals which are having calcareous shell are present in neutral or alkaline pH. Am I clear? So dear students, the point to memorize is that pH plays a very important role in distribution of plants and animals. To be more specific, land plants and soil organisms. ठीक है, तो ये बात करी हमने pH की. Now let's talk about mineral element. Let's talk about your mineral elements. Okay, mineral elements here, if I am talking about, then आपको अच्छे से पता है, like K+, right? Nitrogen, boron, calcium, magnesium, these all are called as mineral element. ठीक है, these mineral elements are also called as biogenic. It is also called as biogenic or biogenetic element, okay, which is very much required for normal growth and development. It is very much required for normal growth and development. Its deficiency causes problem. Its excess also causes problem. Here I want to say that the quantity of mineral elements required is very specific. Na zyada, na kam. If these two conditions exist, it leads to abnormality. Deficiency है तो भी abnormality होगी, excess है तो भी abnormality होगी. Am I clear? So dear students, the requirement of mineral elements are very much important. ठीक है, so for example, if I want to say, then the animals which have calcareous cells are present in region where amount of calcium is more. Simple as that. One more example, if I want to say, if soil is having deficiency of nitrogen, तो यहाँ पे होते हैं nitrogen fixing bacteria. Soil में नाइट्रोजन कम है तो सॉइल में कौन से बैक्टीरिया प्रेजेंट होंगे? नाइट्रोजन फिक्सिंग बैक्टीरिया. ओके, सो मिनरल इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड, राइट? देन 10th, if I want to say, is your gases. 10th, abiotic factor. Gases, here I am talking about nitrogen, carbon dioxide and your oxygen. This plays a very important role. ठीक है, then I am talking about your topography. ये SS में आपने अच्छे से पढ़ा है, distribution, right? And soil also determines, of course, right, flora and fauna. Am I clear? So dear students, ये हमने क्या पढ़े आपके abiotic factor. Okay, so these are your abiotic factor, total 12. Right? In last video we people have seen 5: temperature, light, wind, humidity, precipitation. Then we have seen water, we have seen background, okay, then pH, that is concentration of hydrogen, mineral elements, we have understood your soil, topography and your gases. Okay, so by this we have completed your abiotic component of an ecosystem. I hope this is very clear to you. Thank you very much.